The Simpsons has grown from one man with a pen and an idea to an army. There are over 200 animators, 30 writers, a 35-piece orchestra.
These characters now are alive. They're alive to everybody who works on the show. They're certainly alive to the actors who, make them talk.
These actors do more than just voices. They create a history and psychology for each character. Homer is played by Dan Castellaneta.
I guess it would be like a kid in a man's body, but trying to deal with the fact that now he's an adult.
Castellaneta developed the voice by studying Groening's crude drawings.
He had a huge overbite. It sort of reminded me of Walter Matthau. So I sort of did a Walter Matthau kind of. My jaw would go out, my neck would go in, and then my IQ would drop about 70 points.
So, man, is he dumb.
Where does dough come from?
I was a big fan of the Laurel and Hardy shorts. And there was a comedian. It was always kind of their foil. He would come in and go, oh. So when Matt had written Annoyed Grunt, so I went back to that and I went, oh. And he says, wait, could you do it shorter? Because we only had a few seconds. So it's, oh.
We should really put that in the corner.
Like Castellaneta, Hank Azaria does numerous voices on the show, including the endearing convenience store guy, Apu something. How do you say his last name?
Nasapima Petalon. I don't see why people have such a hard time. Just for now, it's spelled like it sounds. Sounds like it's spelled.
Good rice, good curry, good gunde, let's hurry.
So you start out with a stereotype, and then you start peeling away the layers of this person to see what they're really like underneath.
Spoofing stereotypes while finding the humanity underneath is the job of the writing staff, a staff that is double the size of the average live-action sitcom. They spend months working on just one episode. George Meyer started out as a writer and is now one of the executive producers. Is there a purpose to The Simpsons?
If there is, it's to get people to re-examine their world, and specifically the authority figures in their world.
And those scripts are crafted to tap into the inner anarchist in all of us, to have their characters push buttons that few real people could get away with.
Isn't that a sin?
Mark, just about everything is a sin. You ever sat down and read this thing? Technically, we're not allowed to go to the bathroom.
We do things about subjects that I know would just make people flip if we weren't a cartoon.
Like in this episode, Homer's Phobia, where Homer is forced to confront his fear of homosexuals.
He prefers the company of men.
Who doesn't?
Homer, listen carefully. John is a
Right.
sexual.
There's a lot of criticism that the American sitcom doesn't show families who go to church, and so the Simpsons go to church. We've actually shown God.
Good.
And yet these critics are not satisfied.
This irreverent attitude appeals to many of the lesser gods of our society, celebrities. They line up to poke fun at themselves. But ultimately, the success of this show rides on the main characters, especially Homer. And after months of intense negotiation, he finally agreed to speak with us.
Yes, this is the original Homer Simpson.
Homer, I'm really glad you could take the time to see us.
Is this one of those things where you ask me to taste two colas and tell you which one is better?
No, this is a news magazine.
Well, I just want to reiterate that your investigators are not allowed in my garage, my freezer, or to look into the years 1983 through 1995. I said the freezer, right?
Maybe we should talk to Bart.
Bart doesn't want to talk to you.
Hey, Chris Cuomo, how you doing, man?
Why, you little stuff! Oh, we're gonna have to do this again. My robe was open the whole time.
So Homer's as dumb in person as he is on TV. But despite that, his family truly loves and accepts him. Maybe that's the secret. This subversive sitcom is really pushing traditional family values. Now that's funny.